Welcome, folks, one and all, to a playthrough into the depths of madness and despair. The Call of Cthulhu horror role-playing game, 6th edition. I'm Kikoskia, and the people playing with me today are...
Jack Kleiker.
Alex Dunn-in.
Oh dear.
What's my name again? Elliot Lehman.
Elliot Lehman.
Yeah.
Violet
Lehman.
Carter. There you go.
What?
What?
And they shall
Violet?
Violet Carter.
They are 4 investigators, but they do not know it yet, and they shall be delving into an introduction to the Call of Cthulhu gaming system with a classic one called The Haunting, sometimes otherwise known as The Haunted House, but The Haunting is a better name.
That's a good movie. Liam
Haunting was a
Neeson.
good movie I was about to see.
Oh dearie
Yeah,
me.
Liam Neeson. What's his face? The guy with
Are
the...
we going to meet Liam Neeson in this house?
You are not going to meet Liam Neeson anywhere.
Wait. Liam Neeson is Cthulhu? Oh my god, it makes so much sense.
You're all going to die if that's the case. So,
Well, he does have a very specific set of skills.
it is 1921 in this setting, and this is in the Boston area, where you all either live or work. The situation being in that Violet Carter here, yep, Violet Carter has been sent a letter from a prospective friend of his to see him on a matter of most urgency.
As
He is
The
in
oth-
fact a dame.
The other characters, one being the certain Alex Dunn-in, who happens to be in temporary residence at this man's very house, has also been called up. The other two characters, one being the certain Jack Kleiker, who apparently is dating this man's daughter.
Oh yeah, she's a rich
Oh.
dame, I tell you.
She's not that rich, she's on a bit of a hard time, but
Well, I mean like rich in the upper body department, if you know what I mean.
he's between
Oh, dear.
acting jobs at the moment.
Abundant.
oh dear.
She's ample.
She's a bit of a doll, one could say.
Leaving Elliot Lehman, who just happens to be a friend of this man from various trading and farming exploits. All of
You
you,
are-
Sell him row.
all of you, from one circumstance to another, have been called in to see this particular landlord who goes by the name of Duncan Smith. Duncan Smith is an old friend of yours, Violet, somebody that you know back from university days. He never attained the heights of collegiate mastery as you did, but has managed to get some wealth in the property market through being a landlord.
Very burly man, let me live here and shit.
He's a bit low on tenants in one of his houses at the moment. None of you know each other, however, when you all enter the room, you being there first, Violet. So as one and another of you enter this quite moderately decorated house, which has running water.
Ugh.
Lord.
I know.
I'm living the high life.
Introduce yourselves and describe yourselves in no particular order, starting with Dunnin.
Name's Alex Dunn-in. I'm a master of psychology, clearly, as you can tell by my non-dishevelled looks.
He's the
I'm
shepherds.
Please ignore the tattered clothing. And I am currently living here because the owner is a very burly man.
You fucking idiot.
Correct use of burly, 3 points.
What, we're getting scored?
Who is going to introduce themselves next?
My name is Jack Kleiker. I'm an upcoming actor from Los Angeles, and I've come here because I've have a bit of a thing with the old guy's daughter.
None of you have heard of him, by the way.
Well, you see, I'm still up and coming. And by the way, you said we were supposed to like describe ourselves. Do I have to say
Yeah.
like what I'm wearing and so on?
Yeah, that could help.
Okay, so I'm not saying that out loud, but I am wearing a dark bluish suit, the kind of like suit you would wear during like an everyday affair in the 1920s. There's like a suit, and I also have a fedora on my head, which very stylishly Very
If you
shy.
say,
At a
if you
rakish,
say,
at a rakish angle, I think.
It is at a bit of a coy angle on my head, and as I enter the room, I tip my fedora to Violet and
if
give
you
her
say the word "milady," I will shoot you.
no. But yeah,
Thank
Jack
you.
Flecker, 27, aspiring actor.
Mm-hmm. Who's next?
I'll go last.
Oh.
Okay. My name's Violet Carter. I'm an extremely tall, for some reason, woman wearing a fairly faded set of academic suits suitable for a woman. You know, it's got a long skirt instead of a pair of trousers, although it's fairly similar. I am a professor at the nearby university where I do research into ancient languages and various other things. And I'm here because Duncan Smith, his name. Duncan Smith sent me a letter requesting my presence as a friend of the family.
And lastly, the hillbilly in the room, Elliot Lehman.
Well, he was heard before he actually entered. He arrived last. He was there for the introductions, but as you heard him clanging his way up the fucking corridor, coming in, wearing a thing strapped to his back that has various pots and shit in it that will sort of rattles as he walks, goes in, big farming overalls, big burly man, stupid fucking hat, smells of shit, stares the guy dead in the face. He goes, "Want some pelts?"
Duncan Smith is not as excited to see you, Elliot, than he is everybody else because his nose works. But he deals with your business first. Elliot, yes, I see you are still wearing the same shirt that I loaned you a year ago.
It's a good shirt. Lasts.
Well,
Makes last.
first let's deal with what I owe you. It's $10. I did borrow it off you.
Elliot produces a little tin jar. Here, there's coins rattling around in it. It's a $10 in there.
As I open my cigarette case and take out a cigarette and take out my golden lighter, I look at this this farmer guy and it goes, "So what's the deal with the jar, Lemon?"
What?
I say, "What's the deal with the jar, Lemon? Did you
I'm
got
just
like
gonna-
a wallet? Did you got like a wallet or something?"
I'm just going to make myself exceptionally comfy in one of these high-class chairs.
And they're very high class.
Oh, it's
I look
heaven.
at the guy I was talking about. After briefly looking at Jack Flecker, and I inquire, "Who's this little shit?"
It's almost as good as that lean-to I slept in last week. Fuck.
Well, this little shit is currently looking down at you from way up high, little man. So I take a drag from the cigarette and I
think we're about the same size. I'm just wider.
What size are you?
well,
15.
I'm
well,
size
52,
16.
but I'm tall. But
I'm taller than both of you. Get
Going
wrecked.
into
Yeah, but you're
gameplay
sitting.
statistics,
But
people.
you're sitting anyway. It doesn't matter. Like I'm currently blowing smoke. I'm blowing smoke into his face, and I'm going like, and you know, like better keep it back.
Now, I don't want you here to argue. Since you're all here, I might as well tell you. I was just going to tell Violet, but what the heck, maybe some other of you might have something to help me with. I don't think any of you know, but he wipes his brow a little. He's a little nervous. I'm a landowner, and I recently come into possession of a property, and the problem is that I can't get anyone to live there.
I'll live there.
Raccoons.
Well, no, you don't understand.
I'll get raccoons. I'll empty it. All the raccoons out there. I'll do it for 5.
It's not raccoons. It's
Shit.
I don't care what's
it's
there.
haunted, apparently.
It's haunted.
Not
You
that
mean like in
Please,
one
then.
of those horror movies? They've
Well,
talked about
I
lately?
wouldn't normally believe these sort of things, and the house was really, really cheap. Really cheap. Like I couldn't afford to pass it up. But then I found out that, people went mad in there recently, and the house has been abandoned. And I just makes it a bit difficult to sell it or lease it, you know. And if I don't figure this out, I'm looking at a dead weight here. I could be in serious financial trouble.
Do you have any report of the state of the house from gentlemen of sound mind?
Well, I've I've been there briefly, and I had a look inside, and was not much really to say about it, but I just want my thoughts eased, and there's not many people I can trust with it, really. I mean, other people that I know are also in the real estate industry, and of course they'll tell me to sell it, and they'll say, sell it to you at a high price, and they'll rip me off. Look,
So why are you telling us all this?
because
Yeah.
I want you to look into it for me.
I'll get the raccoons out. Probably just rats in the walls. I'll deal with it.
How much is this going to cost you?
Oh, I thought, well, if
That's a good question, actually.
well, I budgeted
Ki-
$20 a day. If you could give it a clean bill of health, I'll pay you $100.
You know, I was going to take out your daughter tonight, so if I'm not showing up, she's gonna be mighty angry with the both of us.
Would the occult include knowledge about ghosts?
Yeah, would actually.
Okay, so
You going to roll on it?
well, I suppose I could.
Well, how you roll on something is you take your handy dandy dice, your D100, and you roll the die, and if you score beneath or equal to your occult skill, of which Violet has an occult skill of 80%, you
Okay.
pass. Let me know if the number is very low. Like, let me know what the number is, though, when you roll.
I got 13.
Wow. That's pretty good. So,
Do
yeah.
I have to give you an intent for what I want to do with the skill check?
Yeah, why not?
My intent is to give him a rough description of what you would have to know in order to ascertain whether or not it's actually a legitimate haunting, because spiritualism is very much in vogue, or was in vogue.
It was definitely in vogue at the time. You know that for there to be a haunting, there needs to be... Most average hauntings have some sort of tragic event that happened, or a curse placed on a house, and tend to be have symptoms of rattling and weird goings-on and weird noises.
Right, just for shiggles, I'm going to roll a psychology check on our friend Mr. Duncan.
Go
Just
on.
because I want. Okay, D100. I rolled 60.
60, which is... Yep, you think he's a bit spooked by all this, to be honest.
I was okay. Fair enough.
It's probably
I-
good to see if he was
tell you what,
crazy or
instead-
not.
I
He
wish to
looks
ask.
like he's seen a ghost.
I wish to say to Duncan, our friend here, Mr. Duncan. Tell you what, instead of paying me that 100, give me a place to sleep for life, and we'll be sorted.
For life?
For life.
Well, according to you, these people have been coming out of here batshit insane.
That's a
and
bit-
Look, our life expectancy isn't very long. If
I could
apparently
put you
100
up for a couple of months, maybe, but not life.
Well,
Look, man.
you're saying that these people aren't coming out of here very sane, and sane people don't live very long. So
Look, man, if you
life
need a
could be a
place,
few weeks.
if you need a place to sleep for life, go behind the barn and take a shotgun with you. Now listen, old man. Like, I don't know what kind of racket you're running here, but if you want me to go to a weird house where probably just some kids are running around having a ball, then, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm, really miffing up your daughter here, and this is gonna cost you. So I'm gonna try and do a persuade on him to get him to up the money he's
Well,
going
you're
to.
going to have to roll a persuade roll then.
Yeah, let me do that. My I have a 65% and I'm rolling a D100 and
These
it's
rolls-
it is a 24.
So you know these rolls can be... Your chance of success can be altered by how
Yes.
easy or hard it is, but... I can go up to $30 a day, but no more! No more! It's a lot of money back in those days, $30 a day.
By the way, Mr. Kleiker, describe to me this girlfriend of yours. Because I
Now,
have a
this is
feeling
hardly a
that-
suitable topic for discussion at this moment. Surely we should arrange when we're going to go there and what we're exactly going to do.
If you have any... If you want to... If you agree to do this, I can answer any questions about it that I know.
How big is the house?
It's a 2-story house and has a basement as well.
Certainly I shall, Duncan, as you are a dear friend, and I do love mysteries of this type.
It's at least one person.
It's just a critter problem. I'll solve a few traps. We're done with that.
You look
it's gonna
like
be
a
all right.
frightfully handy fellow.
What?
Klika's internet dead. He'll be back. So, that's 2 yeses.
Yeah, sure, why not?
3 yeses. Look expectantly at the disconnector.
I think we can imagine you said yes.
I saw him nod. I saw him nod.
No,
It's okay.
he can't rejoin. I shall ring him. Nope.
There we go. There
Right.
we go. I'm
Yeah.
very
Everybody
sorry
else has said
about that.
yes. He's looking at you expectantly.
Very sorry about that. I had a 24-hour disconnect. What happened with my persuade?
He upped the offer to $30 a day.
Instead of
20. That's a
Instead of-
50% increase.
20, I say, now you're talking my language, old man. You got it. I'm gonna take care of whatever's in there.
So now someone asked him what the house was like, and he said it's a 2-story house with a basement. Any other questions that people want to ask him?
Yes. Why all these people? It's just fucking rats or something. But
Oh,
just send the guy to sort that. Maybe that other guy points to Mr. Dunnan. Looks like he can do it. But these two.
Yeah, I agree. I don't need these guys with me. If you wanna, get their share, give it to me. That's fine. I'll take care of it.
Look, if you've all agreed to do it, I'm not doing it piecemeal. You can all work together on it.
do you by any chance have the names of the previous residents so we can establish a rough etiology for this?
Yes, I do actually. They were the. I've done some research into it
You're about to
myself.
say McGoopins.
No, they're called the Macario family. Moved into the house at around 1918, I think. You could actually visit them, I think. I have the address for the sanitarium that they're staying in.
The
Forcibly
sanitarium.
or of their own choice?
I don't think it was willing.
Ah,
But I heard that the wife is much less affected than the man.
Well, so it's a house that likes dames. That's good.
But they have 2 children as well.
And what are the state of the children?
Don't know about that one. You would have to ask them.
See, this is what happens when you send amateurs to deal with pest problems.
Now listen, gentlemen, and whatever you are. We're kind of, I'm on a busy schedule here. I still want to go out tonight. So can we just drive over there and get this done?
Yeah, sure. Let's get on with it.
that seems like a frightfully hasty and unwise course of events when we have information to gather first.
Look, honey, I don't know what kind of book you crawled out of, but here in the real world, we just go out and do things. So let's just get a move on.
Yeah, but nice to get this done with before I get stuck.
I'm going to look offended.
I'm going to look offended.
Well,
That's all. That's my response. Offended
I'm
look.
sure you can do some research this afternoon and then go spend time with my daughter tonight.
Yep, sounds good. Let's get on with this.
I
Find
think
the
they give your
Sanitarium.
sanitarium.
daughter a thorough routing.
I think he meant me. You're not spending any time with any daughters tonight.
No, but her second boyfriend is.
Excuse me?
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, sorry. Private.
Let's just get this on.
Yeah, let's get on.
So, have you
Elliot
guys agreed on a
surreptitiously
course of
wiped some
action?
it.
Well,
To the sun-
I want to go interview the family.
I agree. Sounds like a
So,
good idea.
you guys will want
I
to
need rat
travel
poison.
to... Duncan gives you the address to a Roxbury sanitarium, a few miles away from Boston itself.
Well, I guess I might as well check out some crazy people. Just
So, how are
something
you
from
guys
method
getting
acting.
there?
Well,
Oh,
I have a
yes.
driver and a car waiting outside.
Yes.
That can only sit 3 people.
Yeah, I'm following Luke.
I'll go get some rat poison.
I'm
while
getting
you
in the
waste time there.
I'm getting in the car. I just walk in there, open the door, sit down.
So, what is Hobo McGee doing?
Which one's Hobo? I already told you I'm following Violet.
Are you getting a cab?
I'm getting in Violet's car.
No, no, the other Hobo McGee.
No, I'm gonna go to fucking market and get some rat poison.
So you're going to go get some rat poison and meet them back here, are you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so, splitting up the party already, fantastic. You all go to Roxbury Sanitarium. It doesn't actually take very long to get there. It's a pretty well-run establishment by what you can see compared to 1920s sanitariums. You don't see any blood on the walls.
What?
I love the first thing you say is just, we don't see any blood on the walls. Wait.
So what?
There's
You,
no blood there yet.
You meet a rather attentive man at the reception who asks your business.
Yeah, we're here to see the crazy people.
He gives you a flat look. Sir, this place is full of crazy people.
We're
Like
here
the
to
wo-
see the Macario family.
Yeah, like those guys.
Oh. He goes to a book. Macario. Oh.
Recently admitted family of 4.
Oh, right. They haven't had any visitors apart from the police, of course, but
Yeah, just tell me like where the ladies kept.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
right. I will have to forward, see if there is a possibleness for appointment. If you could wait here for me, please. He goes to a back room a moment. There's no music in the foyer. You hear some banging in the distance of somebody thumping on a metal door and some wailing.
Hey, it's Clyde's girlfriend.
Eventually, the man returns. We could book an appointment with Miss Macari. I do ask that you be delicate with your questioning. She's still a little sensitive.
What is the nature of her nervous disposition?
She can. It's sometimes it can be brought on by questioning or advanced probing of information, but I would ask that you just be delicate.
Don't worry, Jack Clark is always delicate with the dames.
He frowns a little and escorts you along. You, as you're passing by, you hear one room in particular on your left, which has a man thumping loudly against the walls and screaming and clawing at something.
Is there like a window in the door, or?
There is, but it's shut.
Yeah, but you can look through it.
You
or...
could open it. Like this little
no.
metal shutter.
Okay. Oh, okay, no.
Eventually you're led into a small room, which has 2 orderlies in there and a rather nervous-looking woman in her middle-aged years.
Is there a
fidgeting.
chair?
There is one chair, and a chair she's sat on.
I walk over to the chair, sit down, and take out my cigarette case and my lighter. Start lighting myself up a cigarette.
She
Very
looks,
sensible.
looks at you all, confused and worried.
Okay, well, I have my cigarette. Take a little whip.
Okay, so who's taking the lead?
Right now, it's kind of me, I guess. And I just like look at her.
Who's exactly? Because I mean, I would presumably, as a woman, you'd expect the men to do the talking.
I guess. I don't know. Like I basically just do my thing here. So I just like
See, the way I'd see it is because
pull
we're
my
actually
cigarette.
I'd have said
just-
because we're
just-
actually interacting with a woman, we should have had the woman talk to her. But okay.
just let me do this real quick. So I just like pull my cigarette, cross my legs, look at her, and I go, "So, Miss Macario, so what can you tell us about that weird house that you crazy
Oh,
people
no.
came out of?"
She looks a little aghast at the bluntness of your question. It's evil.
The house is evil.
It's evil.
I'm just gonna roll a quick psychology check on this. 37.
She is definitely spooked by these questions, by the looks of it. She looks very on edge. This evil, this something lives there.
Like what? Like rats or spiders? Hey, what are you afraid of?
Wake up. I could. Why are you here?
We're trying to dissolve the matter.
Solve it. You can't solve it. There's something. I wake up at night and it'd be leaning over me, and it was angry. It was always angry. It would make things would fly. Like
Right,
dishes.
do you mean some type of spirit? Did it manifest ectoplasm?
It was a thing. It was there. Mostly hated.
Jesus
It
Christ.
mostly hated my husband.
Your husband?
Vittorio really hated him. Drove him. She starts blubbering.
I comfort her. Place a comforting arm around her shoulder and say, there.
She
You're
just starts.
5 million meters tall. You're just this brooding.
That's
fucking
why
pig.
I can do it from across the room, dude.
She
Think
starts
about it.
crying. She's in tears now.
I'm just sitting there and I'm going, "Oh wow, this is a
This is some
is
Stretch
one
Armstrong
act.
shit right here.
I'll fire a cigarette, you insensitive prick.
She's crying now. She's in hysterics.
I take out one of my handkerchiefs and I hand it over to her and I go like, here, blow your nose or something.
She blows her nose, but the tears do not stop. The orderly is looking at you with a sort of expression of maybe you shouldn't be here anymore.
What, me or us?
All of you.
All of us.
I ask her when it started. If it started the moment they got there. Just find, last question. Did it start when you got there, or was it there at a certain point?
It's all the time.
Okay.
So it's before they got there.
Well, I put my hands on the table, go back from the chair, get up, walk towards the door, and I go, tell you guys it's like rats or something. Let's just get out of here.
God damn
Awesome. So he's gone. The rest of you leaving the room?
By the way, out of character, this is how I'm gonna do the entire fucking thing.
Oh, good.
So like,
No,
you
good.
guys,
This is-
you
this
guys
is
gotta
good.
deal around it, okay?
So
like,
are you guys
he is an
leaving
asshole.
You
of
other
the
two
highest
leaving the room?
degree.
it. Yeah, I suppose is basically all we can really do.
Mm.
Otherwise, she's just going to explode in tears.
I'm gonna, as we leave, I'm going to say to the orderly, can you tell me if anything changes about her condition or her husband's?
Well,
And I give them contact details.
yeah. He comes up to you as you're leaving and goes, well, don't know about the husband. When he got committed, he went violently mad.
Is he
So-
under sedation?
Yeah. But you won't get much out of him. But I'll let you know if something happens with her.
Thank you.
Violent. Wait, before we go, I asked the orderly, what do you mean by violently mad? How violent are we talking here?
Clawing at his face.
Wow.
That's the thing. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
Yep.
So what are you guys going to do now presented with this information?
Well, first of all, as we walk through the hallway back to the foyer, I go to that door where the banging was earlier. I open up the little window, snip my cigarette in there, and close the window again, and just go to the foyer.
I say
Just
to
a
the
little-
others,
Just a little thing I do.
this is classically symptomatic of a haunting. You have an angry spirit bent on vengeance, tied to the earthly plane by some object, has a fixation on presumably men, and is attempting to drive all men from the place where it resides. That's my
Look, the only angry spirit you're gonna have is me if we don't get a move on.
Fine.
You, Dunnin, have an idea at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You have the idea that if yeah, I know, surprising. If something
Name.
big had happened, like somebody being interred, surely the newspaper would have reported on this.
That's what
What's that?
and I say that's exactly what I was going to go to the library and have a look for information about the house or the
That
residence
reminds
in
me.
general.
What is Ruford doing the whole time?
Rufus has gone to get rat poison.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
okay, like you guys are not like in contact right now.
You
or-
decide what you're going to do at this point, and then I'll go back to Rufus.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, as you say, we should find a way to find newspaper articles, which would be in the library, wouldn't it?
I suggest to Dunnin that he checks the newspaper archives and I'll check the library because they would have been separate at this point.
Sounds
But the
like a good
university library wouldn't have
No,
newspaper archives.
no.
would they?
So more splitting
Okay.
it. So which one is Clyker going to go with? The newspaper or the library?
I'm gonna say I'll let you two ladies take care of the books, and I'm gonna go to the one place where you go in this town if you want to get some information. And that's a bar.
Excellent.
Okay,
Good.
so the
Good,
party
we-
is completely
Wait.
splitting up.
Can I just say
yeah.
before everyone goes, I suggest that we reconvene outside the house at 6 o'clock.
I
You'll
look
know
at
what
I
my.
would also,
Yeah.
even though I'm not here, I speak to you in the way that I mentioned that we are in fact in the probation. So Clark will not find himself a bar unless he finds a speakeasy.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can find myself a bar. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna drink alcohol or whatever.
Can I have a milkshake, please, ma'am?
What? Shit.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's
And
deal
we-
with
Yeah.
the rat poison first. You're going to go buy some rat poison.
That
Yeah,
seems
and a few
backfiring.
extra.
So you go to a general
Heals your animal
you go to a
traps.
general
So-
store and are met by an elderly man. Howdy there. How can I help you?
I stare him square in the face and go rat poison.
Rat poison. Why are you going to be
Please.
killing rats in this place? This area is pretty
Sarah,
rat-free.
Put the dollar on the desk, on the thing. Go, rat poison.
Well, money talks. Takes the dollar, goes, so what house are you going to be using rat poison on?
None of your business. Please.
Fucking hate it when he does that.
Rude and then polite.
Well, alrighty then. Just don't you stay away from that old Corbit place.
Mm-hmm.
The old house. People went
please.
mad there. You don't want to be there.
Yeah, rats and dwarves will do that to you. I'm just gonna rat poison everything, and put some steel traps, please, as well. Steel traps, animal traps. Yeah, probably raccoons
Right.
eating shit out back.
Traps. See what I can do about
Please.
that. Raccoons. Goes and
You
gets you
take
some
pelts.
traps.
I have some polecat pelts.
No, I tend to take money. Money's pretty good.
God damn it. $2.
Right, fine. Gets you some traps as well. Will there be anything else, sir?
Oh, that'll do.
And then you walk back to the other house.
No,
Right.
I think he's actually gonna just try and walk there because he's too cheap for
So
the
you're going to
fucking
walk
cab.
back to the house that you decided you'd reconvene at.
Well, probably start walking towards the actual house. He doesn't think he needs the other people.
Right. Okay. So
Story-wise, is that a bad idea? It's probably
no, I'm
gonna
not gonna tell you anything. You're gonna go to that house. Fair enough.
Right.
From the point of view of the structure of the game, it's a good thing because it means we can then like come in later on and you're running around going. Ah,
So the first thing we're going to do is the people who are going to the library, as that is the closest.
That's me.
Yes. This is a worthy institution that has several large, voluminous sections of books. Are you going to be using your library use to
I'm
determine
using
information?
my library skills.
Yes,
with
roll
you
your
there.
library use.
With or without with just no. Well, let's roll the number.
Just your normal modification.
Library skills. Fucking
Shit, I rolled 95.
You did not. So you waste about half an hour before you get to roll again.
Oh, so I can roll again. Okay.
Yes, you can.
11.
Alright, you find out after a bit of rummaging from a particularly dusty old tome that in 1835 the house was originally built by a prosperous merchant, but he immediately fell ill and was sold to a Mr. Walter Corbit, Esquire.
Mm-hmm.
Another roll?
Okay. Click. Where's the click? There you are. 39.
Okay. A little while later, it leads to a further in the back of the book, as in a sub-note. It was written that in 1852, Walter Corbit was sued by his neighbours, who petitioned to force him to leave the area in consequence of his serious habits and inauspicious demeanour.
Ooh.
Another one?
Fuck it, why not? Okay, let's go for it.
Go full librarian, bro.
72.
This takes you an hour to find. It's clear from old legal records that Corbett won the lawsuit. In his obituary in 1866 that you cross-reference states that he still lived in the same place when he died. It also states that a second lawsuit was being waged to prevent Corbett from being buried in his basement.
Interesting.
There's no outcome to the second lawsuit that you can detect.
Okay, and is that the point where I've
You
completed
do
my-
find through your various skills, you know that there will be civil records on the executor of his will. If you wanted to look those up in the Hall of Records, if you wanted to pursue that line of avenue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How much time do I have?
You have a little time.
So in that case, I guess I'll have a look with the time I have.
Yep. But we will hop over now
Perfect.
to the newspaper accounts. where
Awesome.
the hobo in reality visits the Boston Globe, which is a daily newspaper. You know of good repute. It has very soft newspaper that you can sleep on.
So deliciously soft.
Unfortunately, you are not exactly welcome when you come in. You are asked to state your business by a particularly unreceptive receptionist.
I wish to try and fast talk her.
Oh!
if that-
That's a good idea. Use your fast talk skill to try and blag your way into access.
28.
That does look like a success.
I wish to say to her, I know I look horrible, but it's just because I've woke up late today. I hadn't been able to get my good suit on. I just need to look through a few records, if that's okay, sweetheart.
Fine. One more person's not going to make a difference anyway. Just second hall on my left. Just don't be long. There's somebody
very
else
much.
that needs to be in there soon.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Right.
Right. So, let's get looking into articles on...
You go into a room full of newspaper clippings.
Oh, Lord.
Absolutely full.
Are they ordered in any way?
They are ordered, and you can actually look at them in date.
Ah, good. I'd like to look for newspaper articles in the 1918.
Ah, good call. It's not hard for you to find something. There's a story that was never published. 1918 story. It states that in 1880 a family of French immigrants moved into the house, but fled after a series of violent accidents left the parents dead and 3 children crippled. The house long stood vacant. It also states that in 1909 another family moved in and immediately fell prey to illnesses. And that in 1914 the oldest brother went mad and killed himself with a kitchen knife, and the heartbroken family moved on. In 1917, a third family rented the house, but they left almost immediately, after they all became ill at the same time. It's grim reading.
Wait,
Yeah.
can you just quickly, can I just quickly get the timeline for the information I found, just so I can note it down somewhere?
Right. The information you found is that in 1835, a prosperous merchant built the house but went ill.
Yeah.
It was sold to Corbit. In 1852, he was sued by his neighbours,
Yep.
and he won the lawsuit, and in 1866, he still lived there at the time of his death.
1866.
And the information that that you don't know, but that Mr. Dunning has discovered, has articles from 1880, 1909, 1914, and 1917.
Okay, and they sued him because they asserted that he buried somebody in the cellar.
No, the first time
he
they
wanted to
sued
be
him
buried in the
was
cellar.
because of,
Oh, right.
in consequence of his serious habits and inauspicious demeanour.
Ah, yes, that was it. Usurious, did you say?
Serious, and the second one in 1866 was because that he was they were trying to prevent him from being buried in the basement.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Grim reading, actually, Dunning.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to take this with me, would I?
Nope, unless you want to steal it.
It's tempting. Would I be able to hide it on my person?
You can try.
Because I've got a hide stat, so...
Be more conceal.
That's
bloody
concealed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Won't bother with that then. I shall, yeah, I shall leave that.
You
and
don't
keep
have
it
the
at-
idea that you could look in the Hall of Records. You're not that educated.
Who's this?
You don't have the idea to look in the Hall of Records. You don't.
Ah.
You don't connect the dots.
Sadly, no.
So where are you going now?
I shall go to the house then from
Yep.
here.
Clyger!
Yep.
You find a speakeasy. Even at this time, they're still serving.
I find myself a speakeasy. I go in and I assess the situation.
It's pretty quiet.
Like how many people
How do
there?
you assess
About
it?
3,
3 people.
not including the bartender.
Okay. Walk straight up to the bartender.
Mhm.
Take myself out my cigarette case. Put cigarette in my mouth.
Mhm.
Start lighting it. Tell him to give me a scotch.
Right.
Put $5 on the bar.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
And tell him, listen up, Jack. What do you know about this there house up on the hill or wherever? Is it like up on the hill or where is
It's
it?
you give him the address.
I give him the address. Like, what do you know about that house?
He looks at the money, takes it. Oh, geez, you don't want to be going there. Yeah, it's dodgy stuff happened there. I mean, man. Well, apart from those people going nuts, you know about them.
Yeah, I know about them. I just came from visiting them. But like, come on, man. Like, what's the real deal that happened there?
Some
What's
person
going
said
on?
that there was some dude that lived there. Some guy was involved with that nut job, Michael Thomas,
Michael Thomas.
pastor of some weird church of the contemplation and our Lord, granter of secrets or some rubbish.
Some kind of cult preacher. Or what?
I don't know. Something happened. They came, they appeared, and they disappeared just as much. I mean, I don't know what happened. You
So
wanted
that
to find
Michael
that
Thomas-
sort of stuff out. You want to talk to the cops.
So that Michael Thomas guy, he's out of town.
Don't know what happened to him, really. Disappeared, never heard from him again, but you want to find out about that sort of stuff, you'd be talking about police stuff, and I ain't getting involved in that, as you can quite clearly see.
Anything else you can tell me? There anything going on behind the scenes there?
You wouldn't pick a place like that to do something behind the scenes. It's the most conspicuous place on the damn street.
Hmm.
All the
Makes sense to me.
all the other buildings are huge office places, and there's that little sore spot sticking out like a rotten tooth.
Makes sense to me. Okay, thank you for that. I take the Scotch, exit, because you know I can hold my liquor. Yeah, and I tell him thank you, and then I can walk out.
Right, where are you off to?
I'm going to go to the police precinct.
Oh, you're going to go to the police precinct. Right. Okay. You can get to the police precinct before everybody else gets to the house. Because it's not far away. Suspiciously. You're going to go in and to the front desk and ask about information about this Reverend Michael Thomas?
What I'm going to do
Mhm.
is I'm going to use my acting skill,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to pretend that I'm some detective from out of town
Mm-hmm.
who's investigating that weird shirt.
Okay, from the rest of the people playing, hands up, who thinks this is going to work? But anyway,
No hands
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
Well, no, we'll see. We'll see.
Nah, I'm
So
just
should
joking.
I?
I'm joking.
Should
with you,
I need
joking
to
with you.
roll for it, right?
Yes, please roll on your profession, on your act, on your,
I
on
have
your
a
art
50.
acting.
Let's go. 47.
Okay, so you're gonna go up and be like, "Hey there," your best gumshoe impersonation, and ask them about this, and they stonewall you by saying, "Need to see your detective permit."
My detective permit is I left that in the car outside. You really want me to walk out there, come back here and get it? Like I'm on a tight schedule here. You know how the bosses over in Boston are
You
gonna
have three
kick my ass.
choices here. You have three choices here, Kleika.
Okay.
You can roll a law roll,
Yes, I don't
Okay.
have that.
credit rating roll, or
Okay.
a fast talk roll.
I'll roll a credit rating roll,
Okay. You're
which
gonna
is a 55, and I got a 95 on it.
You are summarily asked to leave, and the information on the although the man let slip that information on that raid is confidential.
So there was a
You
raid.
get the
Huh?
feeling you might want to, if you want that information, you're going to have to get someone else to answer it. You have to get someone else to ask.
Yeah, I know. I walk out at the police station. Are there any cops loitering around? Like maybe
There's-
having a smoke break or
There's
something?
one or two.
Like, okay, do they have a smoke break? They
One
have
of
a
them is
smoke-
smoking.
One of them is smoking. I go up to them, take out a cigarette, hold it in my hand. I walk up to the cop who's smoking and I ask him if he's got a light.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a light.
Yeah. Thank you. And I go like, man, I really needed that. They've been really busting my ass over this whole Michael Townsley. What was he called? Michael Thomas. Sorry, to Michael Townsley is from GTA. Michael Thomas, right?
That's a name
Okay.
I haven't heard for a while.
Oh yeah.
Why would you be
You heard
looking
about
into
that?
that? That's old stuff.
Yeah, but you know how they are. You know, they find some old file about some raid going on, and they send me down here, want me to check it out, and just follow up on it. You know, apparently some missing pieces, like what happened with Thomas and who was involved.
Mr. Violet, out of curiosity, did you decide to go to the whole records or did you go to the house? You were going to the house, weren't you?
No, Luke was going to the records, if I
You
remember
going to
right.
the records.
Lucas
Right.
Yeah.
has.
Yeah,
left
okay.
us. Proceed.
So, you, not really allowed to talk about that, I'm afraid. You're gonna have to go to the front desk.
Well, it's just like I just came from there. Those guys are they're just stonewalling me for some reason, you know?
Well,
I don't know, like maybe because I'm wearing a suit, they think that I'm some kind of hotshot or
They're
something.
doing their
you know?
job, I'm afraid, sir.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job too, you know?
Yeah, well, if you're a detective, their job takes precedence over yours, I'm afraid. Confidential information is confidential.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know about that, but come on, buddy. I mean, we're all on the force here, so.
The difference is I'm the one wearing a badge.
Well, who says I'm not wearing a badge? Just 'cause I left it in my car, just having smoke breaks like every other.
And
every
where's
other
your
car breaker.
car?
Car's just around the corner.
Well, when you bring me your badge, then we can talk.
Damn it! Can I try to do
This
a
guy's just shutting you down, man.
seriously? I try to do a persuade on him.
Try and do a persuade.
Okay, I've got a 65.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 10.
Look, if you can bring someone else of repute to vouch for you, then maybe I can put some. Then maybe we can do some looking into your credentials. But I need someone to vouch for you.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come back in just a bit. What was he? Duncan Smith was his name, right?
Duncan Smith, yeah.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah, as turn around. I go, yeah, I'll come back with like some letter from Duncan Smith or whatever. You don't want him to come all the way down here.
He's completely blank as if he does not know who Duncan Smith is.
Damn it! I was just kind of going for it there. Oh well, okay. I like walk away, throw my cigarette away.
Dumbass.
So, Hall of Records. Right.
Dumbass! I just tried my best. You
did.
fucking
You
rat catcher.
you'll need the Hall of Records is a lot different to the library. You will most certainly need a library use roll for it, though.
Your guy's fantastic, like.
Violet,
Oh, sorry, yes.
library use roll for the Hall of Records.
Oh, right, yes. Click, click, click. Where the fuck did I put the dice rolling thing? Too many tabs open. 73!
Okay.
So shady. 73 again.
Oof, close. It takes you about an hour. It's getting quite late at this point, but you find that the Chapel of Contemplation in the criminal court records. Action taken on them in 1912, but no actual records of the event of what happens at present. The clerk is looking over your shoulder at your thing, and quite curiously, it's a very quiet night in the Hall of Records.
And there's just one guy.
Yeah, there's one guy. He's the clerk who's running this.
I look at him and I ask him if he has any thoughts on where I could be looking more productively.
Well, looks pretty serious crime you got there. If it's been expunged from the Hall of Records, you better be looking in, that's sort of county, state, or federal, isn't it? So, that'd be the police. You want to find that stuff out? Police station.
Do they have any form of records that I'd have access to, or would I need some form of credential?
You'd need something like a letter from the mayor, or fast-talking Gab, or bloody good reason.
I'll try asking politely.
Try asking politely. So where are you off to?
I'm going to head to the police records then.
You're going to head to the police records. Right! The two people who have arrived at the Corbit house.
Oh, is it 6 o'clock now?
It's getting close, but they're
Okay.
early.
Right,
They had
right.
less stuff to do.
Didn't everyone but Elliot decide to meet back at the guy's office, or were they actually meeting at the house?
You actually agreed to meet at Duncan's house.
Hmm.
Rather than the actual
Except
house.
Elliot, who of course we just went to the
Except
fucking
Elliot,
house.
who decided just to go there.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, actually. Are you going to go to the police station, Violet, or are you going back to the Duncan house as well?
Who, me?
No, Violet.
Sorry.
Also known as Luke.
You going back to the... you spotted around!
Exactly. Yeah, no.
Are you going to go to the police station, or are you going back to the Duncan house for now?
No, I was going
To the police
because I was thinking that because it's just before closing, I might as well go to the police station
Yep.
now rather than
Okay.
putting it off. Because
So you're
I'm going to the house afterwards. I think
You're
aren't
going to
I?
go to the police station.
Also, Clyke, I just thought you could actually use Violet as your like repute. You do
I
realize
thought
that?
about that too, but no way I'm using a dame as my recruit.
To be fair, I can do it on my own. I've got 75.
Um,
I'd like to point to the stream where I change pictures depending on the scenery, which I think is very clever.
That's cool, yeah.
When you ask about this, the policeman looks a bit astounded. You know, you're the second person who's asked about this today.
I say, oh yes, well, you see, there's a family there recently had significant disturbance, and I've been asked by both the relatives of the family and the university and the man who owns the property to investigate. I was wondering if you could help me, because it would be truly wonderful, and I'm sure I could find my way to making sure that a sizable donation makes its way to the Widows and Orphans Fund for the police station nearby.
Or credit rating or fast talk for me, please.
Or fast talk, credit rating, I think I'll do.
Yep, credit rating.
Which is 60. And I get 63.
We talking, say, $50 donation?
I'd say more like 100, my good man.
Can I have that in writing?
In fact, you can have the money right now. I shall write a check forthwith.
You write a check?
Yes.
This is
I
a
don't give
typical
shit.
academic
You-
This is
motherfucker.
straight-
You're paying $100 for something you're gonna get paid 30 for.
But I'm not being paid. I'm doing it as a favor.
You hand
Oh, I
him
see.
the $100 check because money talks, and he brings up a file for you. He hands it to you
Thank you very much.
and tells you to have a look. You going to read it?
I ask him if I need to bring it back, or if I can take it, or if I need to leave it here.
I'd recommend you don't leave with it.
Okay, so in that case, I sit down and start reading it.
This concerns, as you read, a secret raid on the Chapel of Contemplation that occurred in 1912.
The Chapel of Contemplation being?
You read up and find the Chapel of Contemplation and Church of Our Lord Granter of Secrets was run by a Reverend Michael Thomas, who you realise was the curator of Walter Corbit's will. The police was occasioned by affidavits, yeah, swearing that members of the church were responsible for the disappearances of neighbourhood children. You read on that during the raid, 3 policemen and 17 cult members, as they were described, were killed by gunplay or fire. Autopsy reports are singularly undetailed and uninformative, as though the coroner had not actually performed examinations.
17 cultists.
17 cultists and 3 policemen.
Okay.
Although 54 members of the church were arrested, all but 8 were released. The records hint of illegal intervention in the proceedings by important local officials.
And there's no sign of who those officials are.
Nope. Offering an explanation of... it offers an explanation as to why it never appeared in print. It does state that Pastor Michael Thomas was arrested and sentenced to 40 years in prison on 5 counts of second-degree murder. He escaped from prison in 1917 and fled the state. There is no further information, but there is a location in the records of where the Chapel of Contemplation once stood.
Which is?
It is on a street a small distance away from Corbit's house. It's not far walk. You take maybe 30 minutes to walk from one to the other.
Interesting. So if we assume there's some connection between these two things, maybe there's an underground tunnel connecting the two, which is why the interest in the basement.
You might want to visit the chapel first, you're thinking.
Well, do I have time?
You're all going to be meeting at the Duncan house anyway, as far as I've gathered.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make your decision then.
Okay, cool. In that case, I go back now.
So, you go back
I pass back the file.
Yep.
But I've been taking notes, by the way, so I have copies of all this information.
That's fine. I don't think with an $100 donation he's going to care that much.
No, I'm just saying, just so I can pull out this information later on.
Eventually, you will meet up back at this house. I don't know if it was this one or the Corbit one, but you're meeting up here.
I believe it was Duncan House. I've been
Yeah.
relaxing and enjoying the
You've been
It was
relaxing
originally going to be the Corbett house, but I think the Duncan house makes more sense.
It does make more sense to have agreed to stay there. Unfortunately, it's Farmer McGee that gets there first, having bought rat poison and traps. Then it's Alex Dunning,
Thank you.
followed by Jack Kleiker,
Hmm.
and finally Violet. And now what's going to happen probably is a storm of information as everybody tries to tell everybody what they found out. Who's going to speak first?
Wait, hold on. Are we at the Corbett house?
You are not. You're at the Duncan house.
Well, me as well. I thought I went to the house.
You want to go to the Corbett house by yourself?
Well, he doesn't think he needs other people, so
Okay,
he just
we'll have this
went, got
conversation
that
with the other people, and you can go to the Corbett house.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a few miles though, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
gonna take him a while.
Yeah,
so
it's
if the
gonna
other
take
people
you a
drive,
while,
They
yeah.
might arrive sort of at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So you
That's
three
fair.
arrive then.
So what? We just begin
You're
sharing.
just
rooms?
outside
you
the
three,
Duncan's
you three
house.
being everybody other than me.
Everybody
Yeah.
other than Farmer McGee, who's
Okay.
walking to the Corbett house.
Not his name.
I know.
It's been calling me a hobo, which isn't true.
So anyway, who's going to speak first out of the three of you?
Well,
I'm just.
I
gonna
announced
skip
that I have a significant quantity of information, but
it. Okay. Well, I heard around a little bit, and apparently there's been some crazy religious stuff going on there. Some Michael Thomas guy had some cult of the whatever going on, and I guess they were just trying to scam people or something. But they got raided by the police. Didn't hear any more about that though. What happened exactly? But basically, they drove him out of there. Few people apparently died, I guess. But Michael Thomas was never seen again.
well, I've found fairly similar information. However, I can enlighten you as to the fate of the cultists and the fate of the raid. 3 policemen died, 17 cultists died, and moreover, Pastor Michael Thomas was ostensibly sentenced for 40 years for 5 counts of second-degree murder, but he escaped in 1917 and has not been seen since. It's possible he escaped the state, so he might still be on the loose. Moreover, the site of this place, the Chapel of Contemplation, is a small distance from Corbett's house, so it's possible you might want to have a look at that first.
I just give a general consensus over the families that have gone through the house, how the majority have left after being ill, and how the older brother of one family went mad and killed himself with a
Because
knife.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Michael Thomas was the curator of Corbett's will and also the pastor of the Chapel of Contemplation, so there's a connection there.
It makes sense to go visit that then.
So we all decided that makes a reasonable idea for a next step, because we can then go from there to the house itself and have a look.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
If it's on the way, it seems simple then.
One cares where Elliot is.
Well,
do
you
we
know,
know where our erstwhile trapper is?
You know, after hearing about this kind of stuff, what you just presented, and hearing about it myself, I feel there might be more going on in that house than I thought at first. This could make a pretty good movie.
with you as the lead role, of course.
Of course. Oh, I could play a great pastor of crazy cult. Hear me, you crazy followers.
Mm-hmm.
There's only
cult
4
is
of these
meant.
films I'll never see.
Oh, you'll see them. They'll be running everywhere.
So you going
He's a
to
bum.
the chapel?
Onwards to the chapel.
You get in the Professor Mobile. That doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. But you arrive on the neighbourhood in question. It's pretty. It doesn't take long. It's pretty empty though of majority of people, and oddly of ruins.
Mm-hmm.
There don't seem to be any.
No, it's cool. Go
There
ahead.
doesn't seem to be any obvious ruins, but there is a one man, a vendor of cigars and newspapers, who seems to be nearby. He's very old.
Always old.
I wish to go up to the man and ask him about what used to stand here. Like,
As I get out of the car, I look at Violet and I go and I ask her like, so how much do you have to earn to get yourself a Jeeves like that?
I'm afraid it simply isn't done to talk about money.
Why, is he some kind of, you kind of on the side or what?
I look somewhat awkward.
I'm just like, okay.
Awkward.
It's like it's low class shows.
The old man goes, Not many people live here anymore. World War What? The Great War. They either moved away or are dead.
What?
Jesus.
See, I love you.
Where you looking for?
Out of character, I think we've encountered Rufus' paranoia character.
I was about to say.
So, what are you looking for?
What are you buying?
What do you buy?
We're at the site of the Chapel of Contemplation.
You're on the
right?
street where it is, but you can't